Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and under summer baseball contest as part of the first round of the 2025 Tournament of Champions. This double elimination tournament that will take place over the course of this week will decide the 4 semifinalists for the Lou Tompkins 18 and under division championship. Today's contest pits visiting 6th-seeded Everett against hosting 3rd-seeded Brookline. And the first pitch is already underway, and it's going to be fouled off. First strike one. Starting on the hill for Brookline today is number 16, Noah Klein. I apologize for the abrupt start to this one. We were kind of waiting on Everett to get a full 9 to arrive here. So starting post-haste here, trying to get this one started on time, as that one from Klein is going to miss for ball 1. These two teams faced off back earlier in this regular season, as this one is skied in the infield, and the second baseman Keenan Sawada comes over to make the grab for out number 1. So one down here. That was MJ, the leadoff hitter for Everett, popping out to start. Now we've got number 1 at the plate for Everett. First pitch to him in the dirt. This is number 1, Emerson. 1-0 the count, and he hits a chopper over to second. Sawada fields it cleanly, throws to Jackson Fantuzzi at first for an easy 4-3 ground out. Noah Klein in the Brookline defense working efficiently to start this inning. 5 pitches, 2 outs to start this one. First pitch to number 11, Anthony, is low and in for ball 1. Wasn't able to get Everett's lineup, so I'm filling it in with Game Changer as I go, as that one from Klein skips in the dirt for ball 2. Like I said, it was kind of last minute that they were able to get a full 9 here for this game. That one comes in high, and it's an early hitters count here to Anthony at 3-0. And he's going to take a 4-pitch walk. First base runner for the visiting Everett team. 1 on, 2 out. Up comes number 6, Jaden. Anthony taking the lead off from first. Klein is a lefty pitcher, so he's got a quicker pickoff throw to first and is able to look over at first while winding up like we saw on that pitch. It comes in low for ball 1. Chases that one high for strike 1. Now, Jaden, assuming he's the same number 6 that played for Everett in the last game against Brookline, he went 1 for 2 with a double against Brookline back in their regular season matchup back on July 15th. Brookline got that win 10-2. Scoring 8 runs the last 3 innings of the game. Hits a high bouncer up the third base line, foul. A 2-2 count now. That one does not curve enough to get into the zone. That's going to be ball 3. We got a full count here to Jaden. Runner at first, 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Runner goes, but it's a swing and a miss. First strike 3. Noah Klein got a little less efficient as the inning wore on, but gets out of it without much damage done. And that will end the top of the first. Now that we have completed the top of the first, let's go through the Brookline starting lineup that will be coming to the plate here to face off against the Everett pitcher. Leading off for Brookline today, the center fielder, number 33, Devin Chin. Batting second, the second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. Batting third, the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 1, Jackson Fantuzzi. Batting fifth, we just saw him on the mound in the top half of the inning, number 16, Noah Klein. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 18, Leo Vankowski. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 5, Jonathan Liu. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 0, Max Minukin. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 10, Harris Hodgson. Head coach of the Brookline 18U Lou Tompkins baseball team is John Busey. So that's our starting lineup for Brookline today. So due up will be the top 3 hitters, Chin, Sawada, and Sheehan. Starting on the mound for Everett, we got a player with no jersey number wearing a gray shirt and gray hat here today. Someone pointed out to me a fun little pattern. These Everett players almost all have different colored hats today. You know, we've talked before about the logistical difficulties of these summer leagues sometimes resulting in teams not having completely uniform uniforms. But, you know, I think in the case of hats, I think it actually brings kind of nice flair to it. You know, as long as you got all the same jerseys, you can tell who, you know, what side you're on. I think having different colored hats can bring in a nice little flair in a sport like baseball. You know, it's kind of like the All-Star game where the teams wear either the American League or National League jerseys, but they wear the hat of the team they're representing. I think it's kind of neat. First pitch is going to come in low for ball 1. Devin Chin, the leadoff hitter for Brookline. You can see his stats for the regular season on the bottom of your screen. Led Brookline in batting average with .531, had a .615 on-base percentage, a .594 slugging percentage, a team-high 17 hits as he shows bunt but pulls it back for an outside ball 2. Chin also led the team in runs scored with 16, while also picking up 13 stolen bases and 3 RBI. Hits a chopper. That's going right up the middle for a leadoff single. Everett, privy to Chin's typical batting strategy of going for infield hits. They had pulled the infield in to try and counter that. Backfires a bit as it bounces up the middle. Might have been a hard stop for the middle infielders regardless, given where it was placed. But regardless, Chin starts us off with a single. Now batting the second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. First pitch misses high and away for ball one. You can see Sawada's stats for the season, a slash line of .483, a team high .625 on base percentage, and .586 slugging. Tied for the team lead in doubles with 3. Led the team in hit by pitches with 6 and in steals with 15, 12 runs scored, and 6 RBI. Chin taking off for second, pitch is outside. They're not even going to throw as Chin picks up another stolen base to add to his mark, as he is close behind Sawada in first and second in stolen bases for Brookline. That one hits the zone. Count is 2-1 now. That one does hit the zone. Sawada's back to the wall now at 2-2. Last time against Everett, Sawada was 2 for 3 with 2 walks, 2 steals, a run, and an RBI. Ooh, but his bat went not around. They say he checked that one just barely, almost a very clumsy swing, but checks it just enough for ball 3. And it's a full count now. Sawada fouls this one off, stays alive at 3-2. Sawada fouls it off again. Seemed to get good contact, but was a little behind that one. Got jammed a bit inside, and it ends up being a foul ball. Still a 3-2 count. And he lines one into left center. This will bring in Brookline's first run. Devin Chin wheeling around. Sawada stretching it out to 2. I don't think that was an advance on the throw or anything like that. I think Sawada just legged his way to an RBI double. Gonna double check Game Changer to see if it was classified as a double. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a single. I mean, either way, it's an RBI for Sawada, and Brookline is on the board. But boy, what a wild hit, and I just missed when it came in on Game Changer. So I'm not sure what they classified that as, but either way, at the plate now for Brookline, the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. Facing an 0-1 count here. He sliced that one, gets stuck up in the backstop. That'll be strike 2. Sheehan finished the regular season with a slash line of .316, .435, .421 as he takes that one high for ball 1. Had 1 steal, 12 runs scored, and a team-leading 15 RBI. 8 of those 15 RBI came in the last 2 games of the season last week at Arlington and at Winchester. As that one skips, gets away from the catcher, and Sawada is going to take third on the wild pitch. Back in mid-July against Everett, Sheehan went 1 for 5 with a run and an RBI. Trying to get an RBI here, as that one's going to miss low and away, and it's another full count. And he pops this one sky high, and it's going to float out of play for a foul ball to keep the count at full. Brookline already leading 1-0. They're trying to add to it here. And that one gets way away. Sawada thought about it, but backs off after the ricochet off the backstop. Mayfield-Sheehan earns himself the free pass to first. Runners at the corners now. Wouldn't be surprised at all if Brookline sent Sheehan up to second. And presumably Everett would not throw, as they'd be concerned about Sawada coming home. At the plate now for Brookline, the first baseman, number 1, Jackson Fantuzzi. Sheehan does go on the first pitch. That one is going to just barely miss for ball 1. Sheehan is going to take second unopposed for just his second steal of the summer. That's going to be a high ball 2. Jackson Fantuzzi didn't get a chance to play in a ton of games for Brookline due to other commitments and some small injuries, but in the short time he was able to play, he made quite an impact at the plate, as you can see from his stats down below, as he fouls that one off for strike 1. 2 for 3 at the plate in the regular season with a double, a triple, a mind-boggling 7 walks in 10 plate appearances to go with 1 steal, 3 runs, and 3 RBI. So for those of you calculating at home, that would be an on-base percentage of 900 if he had enough plate appearances to qualify to show the slash line numbers. That one just misses, and we got a 3-1 count to Fantuzzi here. That one does catch the inside corner for strike 2. Third straight batter to face a full count here for Brookline in the bottom of the first. And Fantuzzi lifts one high and deep out to center. Center fielder tracking it, makes the grab. The runners tag and go. They go to third, but Sheehan gets in easily, and Sawada trots home for Brookline's second run off the sac fly from Fantuzzi. Textbook play to bring the runner home from Jackson Fantuzzi. And now with a runner at third and 1 out, taking what I believe was ball 1 on that pitch is the pitcher, number 16, Noah Klein. That one misses inside for ball 2. Klein in the regular season had a slash line of 206, 341, 324, 4 steals, 11 runs scored, and 9 RBI. That one catches the outside corner for what I believe is strike 1, 2-1 the count. Klein, like Sheehan, caught fire in that last week of the regular season. 5 of his 9 RBI came in those last 2 games, as that one gets away, but not far enough for Sheehan to confidently take home. It'll simply be ball 3. Klein picked up 3 runs scored and 5 RBI in the last 2 games of the regular season. Against Everett back in July, he went 0 for 3 with a walk, a run, and an RBI. Takes that one high for ball 4. Klein takes a stroll down to first. And there's going to be a mound visit here. Coming up to the plate for Brookline will be the third baseman, number 18, Leo Vankowski. Vankowski made quite the impact at the plate over the course of the season. A slash line of 471, 571, 471, 4 runs scored, and 9 RBI, as we got a courtesy runner coming out for the pitcher, Noah Klein, so he can save his legs for his time on the mound. That'll be number 9, Eli Gewirtz, running in his place. Runners back at the corners for Brookline, so High likelihood they'll send Gevertz up to second. First pitch to Vankowski is high for ball one. Vankowski had himself a big day last time against Everett. 3 for 3 at the plate with a walk, a run scored, and 2 RBI to lead the Brookline offense as he takes a low ball 2 there. 2-0 the count. That one skips in the dirt, well covered by the catcher. And that'll be ball 3. That one will hit the zone for strike 1. 3-1, still a hitter's count for Vankowski. Gevertz will go, and Vankowski chases that one high for strike 2. Gevertz will take second unopposed, and he might have been able to take second on a walk if not for the swing on that one. Full count once again. And that one comes in high, and Vankowski will trot down to first as Brookline loads the bases. Now coming up, the left fielder, number 5, Jonathan Liu. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Excuse me. That's a wild pitch, and the runners will hold after another hard ricochet off the backstop here at Warren. Liu, for the regular season, had a slash line of 286, 444, 286, 3 steals, 8 runs scored, and 10 RBI. Takes that one inside for ball 2. He could get another RBI just with a walk here with the bases loaded. And in fact, last time against Everett, he went 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI, as I think he got an RBI ground out in that game. Slices that one foul for strike 2. Two and two, the count, 1 out, bases loaded. And stays alive with the defensive swing there. 2-2, still the count. Ooh, gets beamed with that one, and it's going to be a bases loaded hit by pitch for Jonathan Liu, bringing in Mayfield-Sheehan for Brookline's 3rd run of the inning. Now batting, the catcher, number 0, Max Minukin. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1. Minukin in the regular season finished with a slash line of 292, 393, 375, 1 stolen base, 3 runs scored, and 5 RBI. As takes that one outside for ball 1. And as I always remind folks, Minukin would have had a lot more runs scored if not for the fact that he's a catcher, because he got courtesy runners all the time. That one low for ball 2. Minukin was a substitute hitter against Everett last time, went 1 for 2 with a run scored. as that one hits the zone for strike 2. 1 out, bases still loaded for Brookline. They've already put 3 on the board here in the first frame. And Mnookin just gets piece of it. Manages to foul off the fastball and stay alive at 2-2. And that one got away from the pitcher there. A full count at 3-2. We've had so many full counts as it's been a long, tough inning for the Everett pitcher. As that one is going to come in low. Another bases loaded free pass as Max Mnookin drives in Eli Gevirtz with the walk. And this might be the end of the day for the Everett pitcher, as another courtesy runner will come in for the catcher Mnookin so he can focus his leg strength on his catching duties. Number 3, Ben Cody, will run in his place, as coming up to the plate for Brookline will be the right fielder, number 10, Harris Hodgson. It'll be number 3 taking over on the mound. Again, I'm just waiting for Game Changer to give me names, but in the meantime, we've got some notes in the live chat, so let's take a look at those. From New England Sports Time, which I do believe is the YouTube channel of our friend and part-time commentator Sam Lowenstein, saying, "Go Brookline." We got another one of our regulars, Barbara Jo Metzger. "Go Brookline. Hello, Jesse from Grandma in Buffalo, New York, and go Brookline from my brother Michael too. Go Sawada." And Keenan Sawada really got the party started for Brookline with the RBI hit, which Jeffrey Melton is saying in the live chat that he'd score it a double with an RBI for Keenan, which I agree with. I think it would be a double. It's just one of those weird things where it's like when the hit initially looks like a single and then the runner advances because they were throwing to the cutoff man instead of to the base or something like that. I've sometimes seen that scored as a single. It can sometimes be a bit difficult to judge. I'd give him a double for that, though, because I think that's more a product of Keenan's great speed. Jeffrey Melton, of course, related to former Brookline catcher and current Brookline 18U assistant coach in the summer and Bard University baseball player during the academic seasons, Avery Melton. This is MJ. MJ is number 3, taking over on the hill for Everett. First pitch to Harris Hodgson is going to miss for ball 1. And that's going to be a low ball 2. Hodgson had a bit of trouble getting base hits in the regular season with a batting average and slugging percentage of 56, but an on-base percentage of 227 as he takes a low ball 3 there. He finished the regular season with 5 runs scored and 1 RBI. Went 0 for 2 at the plate against Everett back in July, as he takes a 4-pitch bases-loaded walk there. Harris Hodgson brings in Leo Vankoski with the free pass there. 3rd straight bases-loaded free pass for Brookline, as they have built their lead up to 5 here in the first inning. Back to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 33, Devin Chin, as he takes that one to the inside corner for strike one. Chin got this inning started with a single up the middle. He stole second and then came in to score on Sawada's RBI double. That one high and inside for ball one. And Chin slices that one out of play for strike two. MJ takes a beat off the mound. Now this pitch comes in low, briefly rolls away from the catcher, but well recovered and didn't really roll too dangerously away. The runners all hold. Chin lifts one, gonna stay in the infield, and it's dropped by the shortstop. Oh, the problem was it was an infield fly. But wait. So it's an infield fly, which is typically a dead... The question is whether an infield fly is a dead ball. I think it is, but if it's not, then it is a runner out at second. Because, yeah, the thing is, you got multiple runners on. An infield pop-up like that is going to draw the infield fly rule, specifically so the infielders don't purposely drop it to try and turn a double play. So that will be the second out. Runners all safe, and Keenan Sawada lines a shot, but this time right at the right fielder, who snags it for out number 3. A rough first inning for Everett as Brookline takes the 5-0 lead to start, but still plenty of baseball left to be played. 5-0 at the end of one. We move to the top of the second. Noah Klein back on the hill for Brookline for his second inning of work. The top half of the first went by so fast, and the bottom half of the first ended up going by so long. It just ends up feeling like it's been a while since the last time we saw Klein on the hill, even though it's only been a half an inning. All right, leading off for Everett here in the top of the second, and fouling off the first pitch is the right fielder, number 34. Just waiting on a name from Game Changer. 34, Colin. Colin made that nice catch on the hard liner from Sawada, and now he hits a grounder right back to Sawada. The two players trading putouts of one another, as that'll be out number one here in the top of the second. Now batting is Alpha, as he takes strike one. And that one's going to miss for ball one. Swing and a miss there. Strike two. Pretty sure Alpha is wearing a number 3 gray shirt, and he was playing shortstop, as he takes that one over his head for ball two. He's listed in Game Changer as number 67, but number 67 is not what he's wearing today. Again, just the logistical challenges of summer ball. That one hangs on Klein, comes in high and in, ball three. And that one's going to miss for ball four. Alpha earns himself a pass to first. Now coming up is the first baseman, number 9, Jacob. Pickoff throw back to first, and Alpha retreats back. Swing and a miss from Jacob, strike one. Swings and misses at that one as well. Quickly behind, 0-2. Runner at first, one out here in the top of the second. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes for a quick second out. Now coming up is number 42, Cam. Listed on Game Changer as number 10, but clearly that's not the number he is wearing today, as he slices that one into no man's land, and that's going to drop, and no one covering first, as both Fantuzzi and Sawada were chasing after that one. A well-placed ball from Cam for a 2-out single, the first base hit of the day for Everett. First pitch is going to be high and in for ball one. I think this is Julian at the plate, the original starting pitcher for Everett. And indeed it is, according to Game Changer, as he takes a low ball two. Ball briefly got away, but well recovered by Manukin. It'll simply be ball two. Julian currently the pitcher on credit for the loss if Everett cannot come back and at least tie this game. So you know he'd like to help out here, and could possibly, at least by getting on base and loading the bases, as he's now got a 3-0 count. And that one misses low, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Julian. As 2 walks and a single load the bases for Everett. Now coming up is number 17, Jason. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch high and in for ball 1. Klein's got to regain his control. We saw in the bottom of the first how much things can get out of control when your pitcher just can't find the zone. Brookline got 3 straight bases loaded free passes. And now Everett is halfway to getting one here. 2-0 the count to Jason. But that one hits the zone. 2-1 the count. And that one in the zone as Klein seems to be rebounding nicely. Back into a pitcher's count here at 2-2. That one gets away. The runner's going to go. Manukin recovers, flips to Klein. Tag is not in time. Everett on the board as they come in on the wild pitch. Alpha running hard on that play. Cam down to third, Julian up to second. And a full count now to Jason. Or no, Julian did not advance. Now Julian's advancing, and it's going to be lined out to right for a single. Hodgson juggles the ball. And it's going to be an RBI single for Jason, and just like that, Everett getting back in this ball game. Cam in to score, Julian down to third on the hit and run. Five to 2 now the score. Still 2 down. Ooh, and that one hits MJ to reload the bases, as they have now hit around, I believe. 10 batters for Everett. And now we're back to the top of the order. Emerson fouls off the first pitch he sees, a little bit behind that fastball, 0-1. Emerson, his last time up, grounded out to second. Hits a chopper up the middle, fielded by Sheehan, flipped to second in time to get the last out of the inning and limit the damage. So Everett shows Brookline that they are not going down without a fight in this one. They almost cut the Brookline lead in half, 5-2. We got another defensive change. Now for Everett, Jacob, number 9, taking over on the mound. The third pitcher already for Everett. He takes over for MJ. MJ moves to second. Anthony moves out to right field, and Colin moves to first. Jacob will be facing the heart of the Brookline order. Sheehan, Fantuzzi, and Klein here in the bottom half of the second. Brookline hoping to add to their lead as they are currently up 5-2. Leading off, the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. First pitch from Jacob skips in the dirt for ball 1. Sheehan drew a walk back in the first inning, stole second, and later came in to score on one of the bases loaded free passes. That one skips in the dirt as well, ball 2. The outfielders playing deep, looks like. Sheehan's got a powerful bat, but has had some tough luck in terms of where it's gone up until last week, where he really exploded, got a triple, 2 doubles, and 8 RBI. That one does catch the zone for strike 1. It's a 3-1 count to Sheehan. That one drops in low, and Sheehan leads the inning off with a free pass to first. Now batting the first baseman, number 1, Jackson Fantuzzi. Fantuzzi hit a sac fly to center to drive in Keenan Sawada his last time up. Jacob taking a look over at Sheehan at first. Jacob, a lefty pitcher, so he'll have a quick pickoff move. Sheehan is taking off as that throw got away, and Sheehan thought about rounding second, but holds there with the stolen base. Jacob got completely thrown off by Sheehan taking off even when he was looking at him. Ends up throwing a wild one for ball 1 as Sheehan moves into scoring position. Fantuzzi lines a shot through the left gap. That'll be a clean single. Fantuzzi has now gotten every kind of hit except a home run so far this summer. Puts runners at the corners as up comes the pitcher, number 16, Noah Klein. Now there's a question of whether or not Brookline will send Fantuzzi up to second with the lefty pitcher keeping an eye on him. Fantuzzi not the fastest runner. Klein hits a bouncer past the first baseman into right. Sheehan trots home, and Brookline scores again. Now that one I might have to check Game Changer. I could see that one being scored a single, but I could also see it being scored as an E3. So I'm going to have to wait and see on that one, as the courtesy runner Everett's back on the bases for Klein, as up comes the third baseman, number 18, Leo Vankowski. Dang it, it's always when I'm putting in stats that Game Changer updates, and so I miss what it says. And a whiff on the bunt attempt by Vankowski, strike one. Vankowski drew a walk his last time up, the second of 5 straight free passes allowed by the Everett pitchers in the bottom of the first. Shows bunt, and that one foul. Rolls just right of the first base line for strike 2. 0-2 the count to Vankowski. The bunt strategy out the window. Swings and misses, strike 3. First K of the day for Everett. 1 down, runners at first and second. Up comes the left fielder, number 5, Jonathan Liu. Takes that one for strike 1. Liu got a bases loaded hit by pitch his last time up. So 0 for 0 with an RBI. Lines one right at the third baseman, goes for the pickoff at second and gets it. What a snag by Cam at third, and a quick throw to second. A big defensive highlight for Everett. Gets them out of the 2-runner jam and ends the second inning. Brookline able to add 1 run, and they lead by 4 at the end of 2. Brookline 6, Everett 2. Klein back on the hill, and he will face Anthony, Jaden, and Cullen. Leading off here in the top of the third, he's now playing right field, number 11, Anthony. Takes strike 1 there. Anthony, his first time up, drew a 2-out walk back in the first. Takes high ball 1 there. That's a low ball 2. And that's a high ball 3. 3-1. The count to Anthony here. And he's going to take his second free pass of the day and trot down to first. That is Klein's 4th walk through 2+ innings so far. Klein issued 8 walks to just 3 hits during his time pitching in the regular season, as the catcher, number 6, Jaden, takes strike 1 there. Because of the abrupt start, I didn't get a chance to show Klein's pitching numbers from the regular season, as he takes a beat off the rubber. Klein had a strong summer on the mound, made 4 total appearances, 2 as a starter, 2 as a reliever, as that one's going to miss for ball 1. Klein had a 3-1 win-loss record in the regular season, pitched 11 innings over those 4 outings, gave up 2 runs, but neither of them were earned, so had a team-best 0 ERA, as that's a high ball 2. Klein also had a team-best whip of 1 even, 1.00, with 3 hits and 8 walks for 11 total allowed in 11 innings. Also had 2 hit by pitches and 13 strikeouts. Pickoff throw to first, and Anthony gets back safe. So here today, Klein has given up his first earned runs of the summer with those 2 runs he gave up last inning. This one bounced over to second, flipped to second for 1, on to first, and Brookline turns the 4-6-3 double play. Jaden got jammed on that one a little bit inside and ended up sending a 1-hopper over to Keenan Sawada at second. Easy money for the double play. 2 down, bases empty. Now batting the first baseman, number 34, Colin, as he takes a high ball 1 there. Colin, his last time up, led off the second inning with a ground out to second. And he drops one in foul territory on the third base side. That one's going to miss. Ball 2. Two and one the count. And Colin lifts a shot out to right. Hodgson going back for it, and he's under it for out number 3. Well tracked by Hodgson, didn't panic, as that initially looked like a very well hit ball, but just not into a spot where it could drop. We move now to the bottom of the third. Brookline still leading 6-2. And Brookline will be sending their 8-9-1 hitters, Minukin, Hodgson, and Chin, to the plate. Leading off for Brookline here in the third, the catcher, number 0, Max Minukin. First pitch from Jacob, gonna miss for ball 1. Minukin, his last time up, got a bases loaded walk. Takes strike 1 to the outside corner. Swing and a miss there. Minukin out in front of that off-speed pitch and lost his footing. Strike 2. And again, can't time it up as he whiffs for strike 3. Now coming up, the right fielder, number 10, Harris Hodgson. Hodgson got a bases loaded walk his last time up for the last run of that 5-run first inning for Brookline. Takes high ball 1 there. That one's going to miss. Outside ball 2. That one does drop in the zone for strike 1. 2-1 the count to Hodgson. That one comes out of the hand wrong, and it's a 3-1 hitter's count here. Could Hodgson earn his second free pass of the day? And yes, that will be ball 4. Hodgson strolls down to first. And it's interesting, out of the 5 straight batters that got a free pass in the bottom of the first, the only one to draw a second free pass was Hodgson. Back to the top of the order, Devin Shin was showing bunt, pulled back to take a high ball 1. Third baseman Cam in on the infield grass to try and cover for the bunt. Hodgson with a leadoff from first. Shows bunt again, and again it comes in high for ball 2. Chin 1 for 2 so far today. He got a single up the middle and also popped into an infield fly, both in the first inning. Chin takes a high ball 3. And that's going to be a high ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to Devin Chin as he does get on base and move his teammate along successfully. Perhaps not in the manner originally intended, as he was showing bunt to start the at-bat, but then gets a free trot down to first. Now up the second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. He lays down a bunt up the third baseline, picked up by Jacob, bobbled a bit, throw to first, not in time. As Sawada lays down the bunt single to load the bases. Bases juiced now with 1 out At the plate now, the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. The corner infielders pulled in for a potential play at the plate, while the middle infielders are pulled back so they can field a potential inning-ending double play ball. Sheehan so far today 0 for 0 with 2 walks, 2 steals, and 2 runs scored as he takes strike one there. Like Hodgson, he has gotten a base on balls twice in a row. That's a high ball too. Of course, another free pass here would bring in a run with the bases loaded and continue to increase Brookline's lead, but you know that Sheehan is looking for any pitch that he can launch into the outfield to potentially bring in multiple runs. Not on that pitch as it drops low for ball 3. Sheehan 1 ball away from a bases loaded walk. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Another bases loaded free pass for Brookline as Sheehan drives in Hodgson. 7-2. Now the Brookline lead. Bases still loaded, 1 out. Up comes the first baseman, number 1, Jackson Fantuzzi. Takes a high ball 1. Fantuzzi 1 for 1 with a sac fly and a single. So he's got 1 RBI on the day already in a prime position to drive in more. And he lifts one out to left, and it's going to be caught by the left fielder. Chin tagging and coming into the plate to score. Jackson Fantuzzi with his 2nd sac fly of the day. And Brookline adds to their lead. Now coming up, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Runners taking off as it's a high ball 1, and they're just going to let Sawada take 3rd, and Sheehan takes 2nd unopposed. So 2nd and 3rd now, they're focusing on the batter, trying to get that 3rd out. And Klein fouls that one off for strike 1. So 2nd and 3rd, 1-1 the count, 2 down. And Klein hits a hard bouncer going up the middle through the gap. Sheehan rounding 3rd. Noah Klein brings in 2 with a big RBI hit there and advances down to 2nd on the throw. What a day for Noah Klein. His 2nd straight RBI hit. This one bringing in 2. Sawada and Sheehan both in to score. Brookline has now matched their scoring total from the entire game that they played against Everett back in July. Now batting the 3rd baseman, number 18, Leo Vankowski, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Courtesy runner, Eli Gevertz, or no, actually they got Ben Cody running this time for Klein. That pitch in there for strike 1 to Vankowski. Vankowski 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Takes that one high and in for ball 2. That one gonna miss, slow and in, ball 3. And that is going to be another stroll down to first for Vankowski. His second walk of the day. Two on, two out, as all of Brookline's hitters have now seen the plate this inning, as up comes the left fielder, number 5, Jonathan Liu. Takes ball 1. Liu 0 for 1 so far today. He got a bases-loaded hit by pitch his first time up. Lined out into a inning-ending double play last inning. Liu lifts one into center. Emerson's under it for out number 3. But Brookline continuing to build their lead with 4 runs that inning. Brookline has reached double figures in just 3 innings today. Our score after 3, Brookline 10, Everett 2. During this break between the 3rd and 4th inning, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Ideal Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. That link and phone number can be seen in the description section of the video down below. Leading off for Everett, the shortstop, number 3, Alpha. Takes ball 1 from Klein to start the inning. If Klein can finish this inning here, he would qualify for a pitching win, as the starting pitcher has to pitch more than half of the game's total innings in order to qualify for the win. That one in the zone for strike 1. Alpha, his last time up, drew a walk and came in to score on a wild pitch. That was Everett's first run. And he's going to line one. Oh, what a jumping grab by Keenan Sawada. He can add one more to his already loaded highlight reel of web gems. With a nice catch there. Now batting the pitcher, number 9, Jacob. First pitch, I believe, is outside for ball 1. Jacob, his last time up, went down on strikes. That one's going to miss, low ball 2. Reaches out and lines one out to center, but right at Devin Chin for out number 2. That's one of those where we say good contact, wrong place. As that one had, the distance and the speed that if it went into a gap, there was no catching it, would have been at least a single, but just happened to go straight away center right to the center fielder. Now batting the third baseman, number 42, Cam, as he takes one inside for ball 1. Cam, his last time up, got a single and then came in to score on the RBI hit by Jason. Takes a high ball 2 there. 10-2, the Brookline lead. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. That pitch inside, ball 3. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Cam. Putting a runner at first with 2 down. Up comes the left fielder with no jersey number, Julian. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Julian, his last time up, drew a walk, which loaded the bases at the time. Takes strike 2 to the inside corner. Quickly behind 0-2. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Noah Klein completes his 4th inning of work. And now qualifies for the pitching win for Brookline, assuming this game goes to a full 7. Because as it is, we could still get a mercy rule ending here. Brookline very close to that mark. 2 more runs and Brookline would be leading by 10. And the mercy rule, of course, is a 10-run lead after 5 innings ends the game. After batting around last inning, Brookline will once again be sending their 8-9 hitters to the plate. Mnookin, Hodgson, and Chin. And we're going to see another new pitcher for Everett. This is number 11, Anthony, taking over for Jacob. Jacob returning to first. And Colin going to return to right field. Another defensive change. Looks like they're going to bring in Jason at third and move Cam to second. So this is the 4th different pitcher that Everett has had in this ball game. And as we gear up for this next inning, just a quick note on how the Tournament of Champions works. So the season is not going to end for either team today. There is no possibility of elimination here in the first round because this is a double elimination tournament. So the way it works is that whoever wins this game will go on to face the winner of one of the other games, presumably the winner of the game between the 2nd seed and the 7th seed. So unless there's an upset, the winner of this game would face the 2nd seed in the tournament, while the loser would face the 7th seed. That's assuming that the 2nd seed beats the 7th seed in their game. But you get the basic idea. Now, if a team wins 2 games, they qualify for the semifinals, which take place this weekend. The semifinal round, I believe, will be on Saturday, and the finals on Sunday. That's typically the way it works in this league. You know, I'll double check it with the coaches, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work. So if a team loses today, they're not done. They'll play another game, I believe, tomorrow. If they lose that one, then they would be eliminated. If you lose twice, your season is over. Meanwhile, if a team wins today and then goes on and wins tomorrow, they get to take a break all the way until the weekend and the semifinals. First pitch from Anthony, going to miss to the outside for ball 1. At the plate is the catcher, number 0, Max Minukin. Minukin, so far, he's gotten a bases-loaded walk and struck out. Skies one out to left. Julian is under it for out number 1. We've got a pinch hitter here in place of Harris Hodgson. Batting will be number 9, Eli Gewurz. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Gewurz has shown some potential on the mound and in the infield for Brookline this season. Has had limited chances at the plate. As you can see, 0 for 8 with 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and 1 RBI during the regular season. As he slices that one foul, the count to Gewurz is now 1-2. Checks his swing there, ball 2. And that one hits the low corner for strike 3. Two down here in the bottom of the 4th. And we're back to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 33, Devin Chin. Chin, so far today, he has singled, he has popped out, and he has walked. He hits a grounder here. A weird hop is juggled by Cam, and Chin is going to reach on what I assume will be ruled in E4. Just took a very weird hop, tough ball for Cam. Now batting the second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. It's a hit-and-run play, and that's fair up the left field line. Chin briefly runs into the shortstop, but still gets down to third safely. Keenan Sawada with his second double of the day puts 2 in scoring position. And if Mayfield-Sheehan drives both in, then Brookline would be on the verge of a mercy rule victory. First pitch is going to miss, low and away for ball 1. Mayfield-Sheehan So far today, he has walked 3 times, 0 for 0. 3 walks, 2 runs, 3 runs scored, and 1 RBI, and 3 stolen bases. He's having himself a very interesting offensive line, and he's already got a 3-0 count here. He might walk for a 4th straight time here. And that's what's going to happen. The Everett pitchers want nothing to do with Mayfield-Sheehan as he walks for the 4th time today. Bases juiced now. Up comes the first baseman, number 1, Jackson Fantuzzi. And he slams one deep out to center, heading towards the wall, and it's caught on the track. And no outs to give for a sac fly this time. That's simply going to end the inning. And boy, if Fantuzzi had sent that one to the shortest part of the outfield fence in left center, that might have cleared. And that would have taken the roof off this place if he had hit a grand slam. But instead, that will simply end the inning with no score for Brookline. This game will... it still could potentially end in this 5th inning, depending on if Brookline gets up to a double-digit lead in the bottom half. But it's not going to end in this top half here. And we got a relief pitcher on the mound here. Number 9, Eli Gevertz, taking over on the hill for Noah Klein, who is going to be moved out to right field in place of Harris Hodgson, who Gevertz hit for in the last half inning. Gevertz, he's made 5 pitching appearances so far this summer. Pitched 8 innings in those 5 relief appearances, posted an ERA of 0.88, a whip of 0.88, and 8 strikeouts. He gave up 3 total runs in those 8 innings pitched, but only 1 of them was earned. So we'll see what he does here. Leading off for Everett will be the 3rd baseman, number 17, Jason. And then it'll be back to the top of the order with MJ and Emerson. This one comes high for ball 1. Jason got an RBI single his last time up, drove in Everett's last run so far. Takes that one low and away for ball 2. (10-2), the Brookline advantage here in the top of the 5th as that pitch goes wild for ball 3. Gevertz might need a little bit of time to find his control here. He has got that time and he has got the lead to spare. And he hits the zone for the first time on that pitch. 3-1 now the count. And that one hits the zone as Gevertz battles his way back to a full count. That one's going to miss low, and Jason. Sorry, I was briefly thinking of Jason Kendall. But Jason draws the leadoff walk. back to the top of the order with number 3, MJ. This one high for ball 1. MJ, so far today, he has popped out to second and been hit by a pitch. That one low and it gets away. Jason opts not to go, and it'll simply be ball 2. And head coach John Busey comes out to talk to his reliever, try and settle him down, get those pitches back in the strike zone. Gevertz did actually pitch against Everett the last time these two teams faced off back on July 15 in the regular season. He pitched 2 shutout innings, no hits, no walks, no hit by pitches, and struck out 2. So he's already given up more base runners in this game than he did the last time he pitched against Everett. That one's low, goes off the ump's foot, as that was almost another wild pitch. But again, Jason choosing not to advance, as now the catcher Max Manukin calling a timeout. Three and 0, the count to MJ. That one hits the zone for strike 1. 3 and 1, the count. Runner at first. And hits the zone again. So for the second straight time, Gevertz battles his way back to a full count. Last time, couldn't finish the job. Gave up the walk. We'll see what he does with the payoff pitch here. And that one drops in for strike 3. MJ was tossing the bat for a walk, and did the ump just toss him? I think the ump just ejected him. I'm not entirely sure, and MJ had, I think, already been switched to the extra hitter spot, so we might not even find out, but that's wild. At the plate now is the center fielder, number 1, Emerson. Goes around on that first pitch for strike 1. Pickoff throw back to first. Jason gets back. And that one tipped into the catcher's glove for strike 2. Emerson, so far today, he's grounded out to second and grounded into a fielder's choice at short. So 0 for 2 so far. That one gets away. Again, Jason holds at first. Hits a grounder over to Sawada, turns, flips to second, and they're just going to get the runner at second. Emerson fast enough to prevent the double play ball, but that will be 2 down in the inning. This time the 4-6 fielder's choice. Now batting, The pitcher, number 11, Anthony. Emerson goes for second on the first pitch. It's a high ball. And no chance to make that play as Emerson got a very good jump on it. 1-0 the count to Anthony. Swing and a miss there for strike one. Anthony, so far today, he has drawn a walk twice. Takes ball 2 there. So 0 for 0 so far today. He's got a runner in scoring position. Any run that Everett gets makes it that much tougher to for Brookline to potentially trigger the mercy rule. As currently, if Everett does not score here, then Brookline would only need 2 in the bottom half. Emerson going for third, and he's going to have to go back as Anthony fouls that one off for strike 2. That one comes a little wild and high for ball 3. We got another full count this inning. Third time out of 4 batters that we've seen a full count. A throw back to second, and Emerson dives back safe. Emerson taking off again, and it's ball 4. Throw down to third. Emerson safe. And so that'll put runners at the corners for Everett with 2 down. A night and day difference depending on who as we saw Jason not going on a lot of wild pitches, and we saw Emerson not only steal second but steal third. So a very big difference in base running strategy depending on who's on the bases. At the plate now is the catcher, number 6, Jaden. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Anthony taking off for second. They cut off the throw to check on the runner at third. He doesn't go. Excuse me. Pitch itself, I believe, was ball 2. Anthony successfully takes second. As that pitch going to miss outside, and I think that's a 3-0 count now to Jaden. And that's going to miss, and it'll be a 4-pitch walk to load the bases for Everett with 2 down here. Now batting the right fielder, number 34, Colin. Colin, so far today, he has grounded out to second and flown out to right. Lines a shot up the right side, and that'll be foul. Now he skies one deep out to center, but Shin hovering under it, and he's got it for out number 3. Gewurz survives the jam with no runs allowed. And after both teams load the bases with 2 outs and fail to score, in back-to-back frames, we move to the bottom of the 5th. Brookline leading Everett 10-2. Again, Brookline needs just 2 runs to end the ball game. We wouldn't even need to finish the bottom of the 5th if Brookline scores 2 runs. It would work similar to a walk-off, as it would trigger the mercy rule. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Klein, Van Koski, and Liu, coming up for Brookline. All right, Anthony back on the mound for Everett for his second inning of work. Leading off for Brookline, the right fielder, number 16, Noah Klein. Klein, I believe, 2 for 2 so far today as he gets, did he get hit? I know the ump got hit. Did Klein get hit? Is the ump okay? Wild pitch to start this inning. As the ump is going to walk that one off. Taking a look at the home plate umpire after he took a shot. Looks like it might have been off his arm. Certainly we hope he is okay. You know, doesn't matter who you're rooting for and doesn't matter how many calls you disagree with. You never root for anyone to get hurt in a sporting event. You know, sure, combat sports, but even then, you're not rooting for any kind of serious injuries. And so number 3, MJ for Everett, was ejected after his strikeout in the top half of the inning. Thought he had ball 4 and was tossing his bat as if he was going to trot down to first. Turned out it was strike 3. And I don't know if he said something or what, but the ump tossed him. All right, looks like the ump is still walking it off. Oh, they're getting some stuff out of the equipment bag there to treat him. He's walking off a bit. Is he going to be done for the day? Are we going to switch to a one ump situation? Oh my God, I have never seen this before. The ump is walking up the path there. And yeah, we're going to continue without him. Okay, one ump baseball here at Warren Field. As that pitch is going to miss for ball 2, and we're going to get ball and strike calls from the infield ump now, as you can see him situated behind Anthony there. And that one's going to be low, 3-0. And that one catches the high corner for strike 1. Klein, he thought he had ball 4. But the at-bat continues. And slices this one into shallow left. And Colin, playing shortstop, goes back for it to make the grab for out number 1. So rare you see a lefty throwing shortstop at this level, but Everett giving their guys opportunities to play a lot of different positions today. And now we've got a pinch hitter at the plate in place of Leo Vankowski. It's number 15, Finn Collins. Collins in the regular season, he went 2 for 8 with 3 walks, 5 runs scored, and 1 RBI. And he hits a hard bouncer over to Colin, fields it, throws to first, and it's juggled. Oh, they couldn't pick it up. Jacob was trying to pick it up off the ground and just could not get a grip on it. And so Collins will reach on the E6. And it looks like one of the Everett coaches was a little frustrated about announcements of pinch hitters. Wait, is Collins out? I don't know what happened. Hold on, I think someone's going to be able to tell me this. Is the first pitch to Jonathan Liu is low for ball 1. All right, so it's a 1-1 count now to Jonathan Liu, and I got confirmation of what happened as Liu fouls off strike 2. So it's 2 outs, bases empty, because what happened was Brookline didn't properly declare the pinch hitter. And so that goes down as a batting order violation because the guy's batting where he's not declared to be batting. And so he's out on basically a batting order violation. So 2 down, and Jonathan Liu facing a 1-2 count after some foul balls. And swinging and missing, and that will end the 5th inning. At the end of 5, our score, Brookline 10, Everett 2. Brookline unable to trigger the mercy rule in the 5th. Still got 1 or 2 innings of baseball left to play. All right, we got a new pitcher on the hill for Brookline. Taking over for Eli Gewurz will be number 10, Harris Hodgson. Hodgson, in the regular season, he had 3 pitching appearances, 1 start, 2 in relief. Had a 1-0 win-loss record, pitched 8.2 innings over the course of those 3 appearances. Posted an ERA of 2.42, a whip of 1.85, and 11 strikeouts. And the first batter he'll be facing is number 3 in the gray shirt, Alpha. Quick meeting at the mound between Hodgson and Mnookin. That one in the zone for strike 1. It's chopper to third, juggled a bit, picked back up, long throw to first in time for out number 1. Alpha made it a close play, but Vankowski gets the throw there in time for out number 1. Now batting number 9, Jacob. First pitch, it's a chopper over to first, juggled by Fantuzzi, and cannot recover it in time as Jacob will reach on the E3. Now batting number 42, Cam. First pitch is going to be high for ball 1. And that miss is high and away for ball 2. And that's a low ball 3. Hodgson's been pitching efficiently up to this point, but struggling with his control on this one. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Cam. One out, runners at first and second. Up comes the left fielder, Julian. First pitch going to be low for ball 1. Chases that one low for strike 1. Julian, so far today, he has walked, struck out, and that's it so far. Swings and misses there for strike 2. 1-2 the count, 1 down, runners at first and second. 10-2 the Brookline lead here in the top of the 6th. Skies this one out shallow left, and it's going to be out of play, and the count remains 1-2. Breaking ball drops in the zone for strike 3. Two down now here in the top of the 6th. Now batting number 17, Jason. Jason 1 for 1 so far today with an RBI single and a walk. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Runners at first and second, 2 down. That one low and in for ball 2. That one missing to the outside, ball 3. And that one's going to miss, and it's another 4-pitch walk. And that is going to load the bases here with 2 down. So back to the top of the order, we skip over MJ because he was ejected, and we move straight to number 1, Emerson. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Hodgson had some trouble with his control in what turned out to be the regular season finale against Winchester last week. His control has been up and down so far this inning. Going from throwing nothing but balls to throwing practically nothing but strikes as he's now ahead in this one, 0-2. That one going to miss, slow and away for ball 1. 1-2 the count, bases loaded, 2 down. That one skips in the dirt, well blocked by Manukin. Ball 2. Fouls that one off, stays alive, 2-2. Emerson, his last time up, grounded into a fielder's choice, but ended up stealing his way to third, but was left stranded there. He is 0 for 3 so far today. with 3 groundouts. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hodgson gets him with the breaking ball. And we move to the bottom of the 6th with the score still remaining 10-2. Three of the last 4 half innings have resulted in the bases being loaded with 2 outs and no runs being scored. We have not seen any runs come in since the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here we go in the bottom of the 6th. Anthony back on the hill for Everett. For Brookline, it'll be their 8-9-1 hitters, Mnookin, Hodgson, and Chin, as Hodgson will likely have subbed back into his original spot in the batting order after taking over for Gewirtz on the mound. Everett continuing to rotate their players into different spots. Emerson, who's been playing center field all day, is now playing the catcher's spot. Not sure if that was a strike or a ball to Max Mnookin. That was a strike, and now that one is strike 2. 0-2, Mnookin quickly behind in the count. Fouls that one to the backstop, stays alive. This game will likely end either in this half inning or the next one. If Brookline scores 2 here, the game is over. If not, we go to the top of the 7th and final inning. Mnookin lifts one into left center, and it's out of reach for Jaden, and this will go for not extra bases. Mnookin is going to hold at first as they manage to rifle that one back into the infield. But Mnookin gets the leadoff hit. And he'll get a courtesy runner. And it will be Gevertz. And I believe we got another pinch hitter in place of Hodgson here. First pitch in the zone, strike one. I can't quite tell who it is. Looks like it's Ben Cody. That's a quick 0-2 count to Cody. And now he hits a grounder off the pitcher's glove, dying on the grass, picked up at second, thrown to first in time for out number one. He will advance a runner to second, but unable to leg that one out despite the weird bounce in the infield. And that will be the first out of the inning. Now we cycle back to the top of the order with Devin Chin. One down, the courtesy runner Eli Gevertz at second. First pitch in the zone, strike one. Devin Chin so far today, he's singled, popped out, walked, and reached on an E4. Reaches out, chops that one foul, strike two. Chin also has a stolen base and 2 runs scored so far today. That one low, gets away, delayed takeoff by Gevertz. Slides in safe at third. A late takeoff, but the throw went a little bit wild. Runner at third now with one down and a 1-2 count to Chin. That's going to be a high ball 2. And the throw back to the pitcher kind of missed, but Colin, the shortstop, chases that down. Few infielders up near the edge of the grass for a potential play at the plate. Foul tips that one. The only one staying back is the second baseman, Alpha. Hits a chopper over to third, and it's could not be fielded by Colin. Might have bobbled it a bit, but I don't think he would have made either the throw home or at first, so I think we can chalk that up as an RBI single for Devin Chin. So Brookline now 1 run away from triggering the mercy rule. Up comes the second baseman, number 17, Keenan Sawada. Chin taking off on the first pitch, comes in standing up. The throw goes into the outfield, and Chin takes off for third. And so Chin now 90 feet away from ending this ball game, as he got a great break for second, then went to third on the E2. Sawada chops that one foul for what I believe to be strike one. With only one out, all Sawada has to do is get the ball in the outfield. Whether it be a sac fly or a base hit, that would end the ball game. And he's going to lift one into the outfield. The center fielder under it, catches it, Chin tags, heads to the plate, and that is your ball game. The sac fly from Keenan Sawada drives in Devin Chin and triggers the mercy rule. Brookline wins their first game of the Tournament of Champions in 6 innings. The final score, 12-2. Well, Brookline got out to a dominant start in that one, and while Everett showed a little bit of fight early, Brookline just kept pulling further and further away, and by the end of 3 innings, the result seemed pretty much in hand. Game went perhaps, game seemed to drag on a bit towards the later innings there, but we get to the conclusion, and Brookline will advance in the winner's bracket, basically. If Brookline can get one more win, possibly tomorrow, then they would advance to the semifinals. I don't know who their opponent tomorrow is going to be. I'm presuming they're going to be playing tomorrow. And who their opponent is going to depend on the site. If they get matched up with a lower seed because of an upset that happened in a different game today, then they could be playing back here at Warren. But assuming everything played out as expected amongst the higher seeds, then that would result in Brookline going on the road against a higher seed, which is likely what's going to happen tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure their next game is going to be tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And then if Brookline loses their game tomorrow, then they'll still have one more chance, one more game to potentially clinch their spot in the semifinals, because effectively best 2 out of 3. And that's why Everett, their season is not done yet. They'll still have a fight to stay alive tomorrow. And if they win tomorrow, then they would be playing a 3rd game to see if they could punch their ticket to the semis. But for now, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, as always, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video where I've posted the link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation, as well as some links related to me that you can also see on the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score in 6 innings, Brookline 12, Everett 2. From Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.